first heard about Berean from Ryan Ng, who I had gone to college ministry with. At that time, I had just moved up from LA and I was looking for a church, but I had lived in the center of the city and I didn't have a car, so I wasn't really checking out BMC just because of how hard it would be to commute here.
I met Aaron after Bible study, and he told me about community groups and that they had a community group in the East Bay, which was awesome. So I didn't have to drive as far. So I went to community group, and that was kind of my first impression of BMC. I just walked in the door not really knowing anybody, and just young faces everywhere, and food everywhere, and babies everywhere.
Growing up in a small church, one of the things that for me was I wanted to find somewhere where people were really committed to each other and people really knew what's going on with each other's lives. And for Jenny and I both, we really feel very similarly about BMC, is that people are super committed to each other and people genuinely care about each other, not just what goes on Sundays, but we really want to know what we're doing in each other's lives and what's going on in our lives. And it's just something really found that people really cared, and people genuinely loved each other, and more importantly though, people cared about each other's spirituality and about their spiritualness, and more than just their physical and what's going on here day to day, but really cared about each other spiritually.
My friend Alex Cardenas invited me to actually a Bible study, so I attended one of the Bible studies, and when I was in there, I think initially I was in complete awe of the way God worked through Pastor Alton and Pastor Aaron, and the way they delivered the message for that Bible study. It was crazy. I kind of felt like I was in school again. I was learning the Word in depth. I was, learning theology and all these things that I've always wanted to kind of learn on my own, but just to see the way God worked through them and delivering the message through that Bible study was just amazing. Then I just quickly realized just how much emphasis the church puts on equipping every member with the Word, and I fell in love with the culture of making disciples and making sure everybody knew the gospel and was equipped to go out to the world and spread the gospel.
My biggest hope for the church plant was that we wouldn't fold within our first year. I had heard through my research and from talking to various church planners how hard it was to do ministry here in the Bay Area, particularly here in the peninsula. And so I think our greatest hope really was that our ministry could get off the ground and that it would be sustained long enough where we would actually be able to gather some momentum.
My hopes for the church plant was to just establish a solid Bible teaching church in the Bay Area, mainly in the peninsula. Personally, having grown up here on the peninsula, I felt like there was a lack of solid churches here, and especially with it being Silicon Valley and the culture, the worldliness, I just wanted there to be a light here in the Bay Area.
I think for a lot of us, our hopes and sort of anxieties were about the future of sort of what the church would look like. It's very uncertain in a lot of ways, but I remember for a lot of us being very confident in Pastor Aaron, more so in how clearly he was focused on our first vision, which is to have a God-centered and not a man-centered purpose. It never felt like he was taking the church in a direction that he personally only wanted, but it definitely always felt like he was following the vision that he felt God called our church to be.
I was really encouraged by the church because it was a group of people that were very different from different backgrounds, and I feel like we all came together and were able to really fellowship and become friends and love one another, though in other environments we may not have naturally been the closest of friends.
I've always been encouraged by the church by how much the congregation actually cares about the church. As a church, we've never had to impress upon the congregation to care about one another or to take care of this person or to go serve or to be in this ministry and whatnot, because everyone in the congregation has always been eager to serve out of just the offspring of their heart.
The community here for me, can be summed up in 2 words, which is just relentless grace, where they love me with the love of Christ that I do not deserve. Like, even when I'm bitter and petty and like running away like a child, they still pursue me and give everything that they have to make sure that I come back to my Savior.
I think we've been really encouraged by just the teachable spirit of the people, and how humble that they are. As the leaders here, we often talk about how the people here are not willful. There really hasn't been a pretentious spirit that we've encountered, but people have really been responsive just to our shepherding, and when we speak truth and love to them, when we try to guide and direct them, they've often been very responsive. Yeah, we've seen just a lot of ways in which God is growing our church to really grow in just in their love for each other and to really live out their faith in this world.